Is this thing on or how's it going? Well, hello and how's it going? Well, how's it going?
Hello, and how's it going? Hello, how's it going?
Well, how's it going? Well, how's it going?
Well, no, sorry. Well, how's it going?
Well, how's it going? I'm here with you. I looked at you and I started
I was
laughing.
going to say good.
Well, how's it going? I'm here with Christian and Madison, and we're back.
We are back.
The back, baby. My phone vibrated.
Try not to laugh.
Well, how's it going? Happy New Year. Welcome back to the first recording session of 2026. I'm here with the hosts of the show. To my left, we have Christian Karamatic, the #1 mortgage broker from Loba Finance. To the left of Christian, we have Madison Phipps, who some would say is the best female agent in Illawarra.
I thought he was going to say the best
To the-
Phipps.
To the left of Madison is Ben Spiteri, who works for MMJ North.
Wow.
And introducing the special guest is myself, Michali.
We've got a Michali
He's actually
reveal.
done very well. I'll pay that, apart from the insult to me.
We might have found Ben's permanent replacement.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Well, welcome, Michali. He was our Michali is my brother-in-law. We had him on helping us record. Dom had a little break last year.
Sabbatical.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. You did, you were our IT guy.
Turned up in a cowboy
The
hat if you
cowboy
follow our
hat and the suit.
socials.
Blazer and a cowboy hat.
Yes.
And an Arsenal kid under the
In an
nose.
It was a lot of
Arsenal
fun.
jersey.
It
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
And he loved it so much he wanted to now get behind the mic instead of the camera.
He's been asking
big-time
us.
production at the House of Goin podcast. Avid listener.
Number one
number one.
fan.
Avid
And number
tech
one
man,
listener.
avid participant.
Wow.
All-rounder.
Michali was like one of our top 0.1% fans. on Spotify.
By Wrapped.
He got our Spotify rap. It was a recording of all of us just thanking him.
Yeah, exactly right.
How famous do we have to get before we can actually start doing those?
I wonder if they've just let anyone do it. Surely.
Yeah, no, surely you got to be
Yeah, I
like,
think you have a threshold to reach, and then
our 3 bands will get
That's our 2026 resolution.
what do I know? I'm a mere property investor.
Oh,
So the reason why we have Michali on here, we've done a lot of episodes on first home buyers, 101, cheat sheet, kind of the inside scoop on different topics that we thought, why don't we have a first home buyer? Well, Michali's now moved on to his, I think, third property.
He's got a portfolio
That's
at this
huge.
stage.
That's actually huge.
I'm not that kind of guy.
So we thought he is the perfect person to ask all of these questions and have him on and find out the inside scoop on first home buying from the man himself.
Hear it from the other
Yes.
side of the table. We're normally the
Yes.
one harassing buyers and see how the buyer
it's
took
good.
it.
It's a topic that I like to talk about with a non-biased perspective.
He's very passionate.
Yeah.
He does love it.
Mm.
But I think it's nice to get someone's perspective who is outside of the industry like what we are. You know what I mean, it's
I think it's a good idea.
one thing to constantly listen to us yapping about it when we're living it every single day. Michali doesn't quite live it every day. So,
Mhm.
to have that sort of different perspective, I think is hopefully going to be enlightening. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll see.
Stay tuned and keep watching.
Brilliant stuff coming up.
So do you want to run us through when you bought your first property, a bit of the timeline? You know, you've done a bit of being a landlord, you've lived done owner occupying,
Yep.
you've sold off market, you've sold on market.
Far out.
You've
He's
done,
it
you've
all.
done it all. You've
There's
had
a
your
lot to talk about.
Like,
Well,
what hasn't he done?
yeah, okay. So we'll start from the beginning. I was someone who had preconceived ideas of what it was like to apply for a home loan. I think that was a really big barrier for me jumping into the property market as a young adult. I think I was 25 when I seriously started considering looking at buying a property. But to be honest, I had no idea of where to start, what to do, what I needed to have. So it was quite daunting. And at the time, I was actually working for a financial institution, which was outside of real estate and property investing. And I would say to a lot of the customers that would come into so-called financial institution and say the hardest part about purchasing a home is actually getting started with seeing a lender. And I think that once you have that initial conversation with someone like Christian or an institution, it really sets the standard of what to expect and the requirements of what it takes to get into the market. So my journey started simply like that. I walked into a Big Four bank, and I also did see Christian at Lever Finance. And it was such a simple conversation. It was nothing serious, and it was as straightforward as, what are your goals? When do you want to achieve them by? What is your savings looking like? How much you're earning, etc. And I'm sure that Christian on other episodes could get into that in a little bit more detail. From there, we built out a plan of exactly what I could borrow and when I could borrow it. My conversation wasn't that easy to start with. It was more so you have to do X, Y, and Z to meet that expectation. Once I eventually got to the goal, I started looking around in the market for a property locally. Originally, I was looking for something just for an investment. I was fortunate enough to purchase a property in Wollongong, just a unit. It was a 211. And that really got us into the
He's
door.
even using terms.
Yeah, it got us into the door
The old 211, eh?
of first home ownership, which was a unit. It was nice and close to the beach, which was great.
Around the corner from me too.
Yeah, it was around the corner from Christian. And then living there for a bit, it was great. It was me, my partner. We ended up buying a dog, and so we sort of outgrew the apartment. Living in an apartment with the dog's not nice. So we started considering looking into a townhouse, so something with a bit of a backyard. And that was the first sort of taste of, okay, how can we leverage one property as an investment property and then purchase another as an owner occupied?
How long had you owned the unit for when you were looking into that?
We had the unit we were living in it for over a year to get the first home owner benefits.
Yep.
So maybe it was about a year and a half, almost 2 years of being in the unit before we looked to rent it out and then move into the townhouse. So yeah, and then from there we had the townhouse and we were owner occupied for the townhouse.
Rented out
the unit. And we lived like that comfortably for quite some time. And then the conversation started happening. Do we want to buy a house and build a family? And an opportunity came up. It was actually sent to me from
Don't muck
Madison.
around, do you?
Build a house and buy a family.
Yeah. And then the next conversation happened with the mortgage broker, who was Christian, saying that, look, you're sort of over capacity with your lending. You're going to have to try and sell some stuff. So we sold both of our properties because I think that's a hard thing to deal with being a young adult. Like, do you party? Do you invest? Do you do both?
Travel.
And
I think it's more just about not being over leveraged, right?
Correct.
I've said it a million times on this podcast. You got to have a balance. As much as you
Yeah.
want to get ahead financially, you also kind of want to enjoy your 20s a little bit.
Yeah.
Too, so
and I didn't have a balance, to be quite honest. There was 2 big mortgages and
Lost his hair.
And then I lost my hair. There was 2 big mortgages and you sort of lose track of living. So we sold both of our properties and then moved into the one, which is now a family home, and it's been great. So yeah, a bit of a journey, but it's been
the dog's
really,
happy with the
really
backyard
fun.
now?
The dog is happy.
you got a big upgrade. And then
Yes.
How old are you now?
I am turning 29 on Saturday.
I reckon you've bought and sold more properties than probably half of Australia.
Yeah.
The Australian population at the ripe old age of 29.
I think that coming from an ethnic background, we've sort of been quite happy staying in the one place for like my whole childhood.
When you're married to
living
a
at home.
fib.
Ethnics don't sell.
Yeah, and so I've sort of
What are
had
you
that
saying? Goes against
preconceived
his-
idea.
But when you're married to a FIPS, we look at
Well, that is
realestate.com every hour and we decide that we're moving at the click of a finger and off we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an unwritten rule for a FIPS. You can't own a property for more than 5 years.
Exactly
no,
right.
3.
3,
Yeah.
even better.
Well,
3.
we've assimilated into the ethnic mindset.
Really, you're
We've
the stamp
times 2,
duty.
so 10 years is probably a bit more understandable. But
Michali Phipps.
The stamp
Yeah.
duty from the FIPS is
Exactly.
running the economy.
Yeah.
But I think the message in all of that is that it seems daunting until you get your foot in the market. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, get your foot in the market, get your foot in the market," but that could be as simple as just seeing a broker or just seeing an
100%.
institution, finding out what your goals are, and like that is getting your foot in the market.
That's the biggest advice I give to people when I have friends that always have this preconceived idea of from the media that, you know, you're never going to be able to buy, you're going to die with a mortgage, all these things. Simply go and see a broker and you'll walk out with complete otherwise.
Yeah, exactly right.
I've had people I've spoken to come back to me like 2 years later. So that they'll talk to me and I'll explain to them, look, you're not ready yet. You have to do X, Y, Z to get to where you want to be.
Stop the sports bet.
As long as you keep it off your bank statement. Sure,
Going to the TAB.
cash bets. Yeah, it's just the case of you just need to know. That's the problem. Most people don't know. And the thing is, if you speak to someone like a broker, if they're a good, decent broker anyway, we okay, Dom? Dom,
You can pull it towards you if you want.
Test.
Dom gave us a look. We don't.
There we go.
It's running away on him.
Is that better?
He's scared he's going to sell it. Buy a better one. Anywho, point is, you talk to a broker. If they're a half decent broker, they know the value of building a relationship, so they won't feel like you've wasted. I never feel like people waste my time. If they genuinely want to know what they need to do to get ready, I will tell them, and they'll come back to me.
Put it on a t-shirt.
I think that's a really good point as well. And I think that's sort of what led me into going with a broker. I found that when I went to a Big Four bank, they only offered their product, and it was their rate, their product, and this is as much as you could borrow. However, when you go see a broker like Lover Finance, the benefit of seeing a broker is they have
It's like shopping at David Jones opposed
they have a variety of
stream bags.
relationships with different institutions that have different products that may suit your needs.
Can we just hang on? Why was strand bags your go-to?
Well, I was thinking about all the different handbag brands at David Jones and picking them off the wall, and then I was going to compare David Jones to Louis Vuitton. I just thought,
Come on,
man,
let's be honest.
strand
You
bag.
don't shop for the handbags at David Jones. Come on.
I took my nan there yesterday, so it's why it's on the floor. No.
Straight from Italy.
Straight from Italy.
Anyway, point
Poor
is,
cow.
get ready. You can't know what to do if you don't know what to do. So find out what to
100%.
do, and then you get the tools to make it happen.
Yeah.
Even if it is a long turnaround on how long it takes you to get ready, that's fine. As you need to have direction, is what I usually tell people.
Got to have goals.
Yeah. And my journey wasn't quick either. Like I started probably like 25 and I didn't buy something till about 27. So
2 years. Wow.
oh, maybe those numbers are wrong, but never mind.
No, you've done very well in a short period
It's
of
all a blur.
Was buying a property, sorry, I've just jumped the gun into the questions. Was buying a property always a goal of yours from a young child? Like, was it something your parents instilled in you? Or is there a moment in time that just triggered, this is something I should be doing?
No, it's definitely something that's ingrained in you. I think, and I've heard the episode where is the Australian dream dead? I think that always is the Australian dream to buy a property, not only for a home, but also security in your retirement. It's sort of like a mix between a roof over your head, an investment, and also somewhere to grow a family. So yeah, it was always a goal of mine.
Bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
Bricks and mortar.
I thought it would be a lot. Sounds wild, but I thought it would be a lot harder than what it actually is, and that just reiterates the fact that having good connections like a broker, good real estate agents, it does make the process easy. You just need to show up. That's it.
I agree with all the points. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought you
had your list of questions. Sorry.
You're the question master.
Okay. What was probably the most confusing part of the loan process, or something that you learned along the way?
The loan process.
Yeah.
The loan process, huh?
I've got a funny one for me. Sorry, not to make it about me, but I'm going to cut you off. I didn't even know how a mortgage worked. Like, I didn't know that there was a little bit on the bottom of, your bank page, your desktop, whatever you call it, and that they just, I don't know, took it out. I had no idea that concept was a thing. Like, I thought you had to go and pay your mortgage somewhere. Or, I don't know. Before I got into real estate, I had no clue how a mortgage worked.
Yeah, I can't say I really had a conception of it either.
I just thought maybe my mum and dad went somewhere and paid the mortgage for the week. Like, I didn't understand that it was like a direct debit. That you always heard the word, but I didn't know
my
how
wife still doesn't know how it comes out.
She doesn't have to.
Sitting in the corner.
Tegan is actually sitting here.
To answer the question, I think that my experience is slightly different.
Good segue.
Purely because I did work for a financial institution, I did have some sort of understanding.
Yeah.
What I found that was the hardest part of the mortgage, was that the question?
The most confusing part.
Of the loan process
was how liabilities outside of a mortgage affect your borrowing capacity.
Oh, that's a good one.
So at the time I did have a car loan, and that severely impacted my borrowing capacity.
Did you have a HEX?
I had a HEX, didn't finish my degree, so that was even more frustrating. So I had paid my HEX and I had gotten rid of the car, and that made things a lot easier.
And my other favorite that I always harp on about is credit cards. Oh, but I haven't used it. It's got $0 owing. It doesn't.
I
still have one.
There was an episode about that.
Yeah,
so what I found out was
limit, it's a liability.
Exactly.
Simple.
Yes.
The only thing worse than a car loan, though, is an evaded lease. From a borrowing capacity point of view, those things are. Anyway, I'm not going to go there.
Didn't know that.
Maybe another episode. Things that stop you from borrowing. And go probably on.
What reduces your borrowing capacity?
Yeah, that could be a whole episode.
The answer might shock you. It's everything.
Everything. So how long do you think it took you to save for your deposit? And did you find that in this day and age that you were sacrificing a lot of other things?
That's a good question. So this question could go one of two ways. I think if I wanted to fib, I would say, yeah, I saved a lot of money and I worked really hard. But I think the fact of the matter for my situation was, in my situation, I struggled to grow savings, but that's where the benefit of having a guarantor came into place, that I could leverage some savings that I did have along with a guarantor
Well, especially
backing.
after you pay out a car loan and a house
Correct.
debt, a lot of your savings is going to reducing
Correct.
them, that it's going to cut quite significantly.
Exactly right. And I think the benefit of finding a good broker, such as Christian, plug,
He's done like
is
7
the
plugs.
fact that it's
He's
not
What
all just
about
about
us?
savings. There's other ways to finance a loan. So
I will
yeah.
butt in and say majority of young home buyers that I deal with, generally speaking, it's so difficult to save a 20% deposit.
Yeah.
Like more often than not, the conversation will almost always gravitate towards guarantees, whether that be the government scheme or parental guarantees. Because it's just, if you want to buy a house in Wollongong, and let's say a house, you're a young family, young couple, whatever, you're not going to be buying much for under $1 million. The deposit requirement on that, if
Who's got 200 grand just sitting there?
plus stamp duty and the rest, you're
Yeah,
looking at
true.
140 grand. It's a lot of money, man.
Yeah. And I also think, like, if you don't have an idea of what properties you want, how much you can borrow, like, you don't really know how to spend your money right either. So
You're kind of just sitting there saving for the sake of saving at that point.
exactly right. And when you're only earning like what, $15 an hour when you're 14, then it's a bit hard to save 200K. So yeah, in my situation, it was a bit different, but yeah.
How long did it take you to find the right property?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think that, and in the light of shameless plugs, having a partner whose family is heavily involved in real estate, such as
The property
Madison
found
Phipps
you.
and Troy Phipps, the properties did kind of find me. So I knew exactly what my
They
budget
found
was.
you somehow.
But I think it's important to know, like, even though I did have the backing of real estate agents that had my side because of family matters, I also think that if you go to an agency that actually cares about you, they will support you in finding the right thing. Ultimately, I wanted something that was close to family, that didn't have issues in the building, that was low strata. I could rent it out for more if I wanted to. Being an ethnic, if it was brick, it was a big bonus.
Double brick, double
Brick,
bonus.
even better. So yeah, it's important to have an idea in your head of, would you live in it? And if so, then yes, go for that.
How did you are you guys going to talk?
I don't really feel
I'm
need to add
taking it
anything
in.
to
It's
that.
good. I feel
Really
like
have anything to
you've
add.
rehearsed him on these questions. He's actually
No,
nailing
I
the
actually didn't
answers.
even give him the list.
It's not even just a oh yeah, or it's a very coherent
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah,
He's just rattling it.
The
off.
best thing about him, though, when I messaged him, I didn't tell him what we were going to be interviewing him. I just didn't want to be on the
He
podcast.
thought he was doing
do
Dom's
you
job
think?
today.
What do you think we're going to talk about?
Don't know, but could have been any number of things.
I thought it was a job interview.
My next question was going to be, only because obviously you're marrying my sister, so I know how we work. But how
What are your intentions?
So why are you marrying my sister? We have that talk at home. How did you balance emotion versus logic when buying a property? As I know, me and my sister
Great
are very emotional.
Yeah.
We see something, we like it, we want it,
No, this is
we need it,
this is an
get it.
awesome question. And
And as Nick and you, our husbands are very logical, calculated people.
No, that's a very, very good question. I would say that I lead by 90% emotion. And I think that
He's
stems from
emotional.
upbringings. I think if you look at me and my partner who I've invested with, like, we have one side of one side of the spectrum who is me, where I've lived in the same house growing up for 22 years, right? On the other side of the story, you have my partner's family, who you would have heard in previous episodes, have moved like 8 times.
22.
I think it's 18.
Yeah. So I was only 10 off. That's wild. So like that's polarizing opposites. So for starters, moving out was really difficult because I was so emotionally invested in my family home with my mum and my sisters.
Mama's boy.
Then when I eventually got to the unit, it was so hard to leave the unit to go to the townhouse. But then when we got to the townhouse, it's like that was the next thing. And then now we're
And now you're just
our
numb
third
to it
place.
and you just
It's-
move
Now
anywhere.
you're just
So I think-
becoming one of them. It's like
You're a
you
gypsy.
pack a bag
Yeah.
and pack a box and
But I
see you
think
later.
You did,
Yeah,
you did,
exactly.
You did it for your dependent. You did it for Hubert.
So I think that
Yeah.
it's important to be emotionally connected to something because it means you actually care in what you're doing and you're going to make smarter decisions. But at the same time, if you don't lead with logic, then it's going to be tough to actually get into the market. And I'll stand back to what I was saying about having a car loan and that holding me back from buying a property. If I was emotionally invested in the car because I like cars, if I didn't sell that car, I would never have been able to buy a property that's now given me a position to buy more things.
So buy cars.
So I think the answer
No,
is
the answer was don't buy cars.
it's tough to separate emotion from logic. I do lead with more emotions than logic, and that's why it's important to find a partner who can balance that out. But yeah, I think it's a matter of having both, and
I
it's
think
all about balance.
I will butt in now and say it does. It also depends on what you're doing. In the
Mhm.
sense of if you're looking to buy somewhere to live, then emotion plays a much stronger
Yeah,
role in that
100%. If
decision.
it's an investment,
If you're buying purely to make money, then it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Exactly.
So I think it also you need to balance it with what your goals are and what your intentions are.
my ideology is if you're in the market, you're in the market, you're fine. If you don't like where you live, you can move.
Mhm. It's true.
That's,
No, it's very true. I think
I'm
that
sorry.
until
If you don't like where you live,
until you get in or buy one or two places, it's
But
hard
the,
to think
the,
that.
the,
But
the
yeah,
little
it's
master
true.
that you're married to must absolutely hate that mentality.
oh no,
We live here, we never move.
we never move. I got him to move once, guys. Once in 10 years. We're doing pretty well.
In the same building.
In the same building. Yeah. I'll probably never leave. Should we move on to some questions from the question box on Instagram?
We should, but first we do have a bit of a ritual with guests.
Oh,
We
sorry.
forgot
How
about.
could I forget?
We've
Let's let Ben ask a question this episode. So we'll let Ben ask the big important one.
Big important
One of
one.
the two questions. we ask all of
She's
our
on one
guests.
today. She's had a day and she wants to take it out on me now.
Ask the question.
Mickey, favorite restaurant? Can be local.
Yeah,
Can be Sydney.
debutante and a spicy marg for the cocktail. No, just kidding.
Oh,
favorite
original.
restaurants locally. I'm going to give you two.
Ooh,
I'm going
Yep.
to give you a restaurant and a pub,
Ooh.
and they're
Oh,
both local to me. La Rose Thai in Tarrawanna.
Oh, wow.
Great Thai
Yeah.
food. Cheap, and they're very good service and nice people.
Yep.
Pub, Bally Pub.
Bally.
Best chicken schnitzel in the Illawarra.
the local.
Really
That's
awkward
$10
because when
for
you
a
said
schooner, but yeah, they'll
Well,
rip
that's
your ass.
why
Yeah.
I drink at home and then go.
when you said debutante, I was going to say perfect. So I actually have a voucher for you sitting on my desk. But now you've said La Rose, I feel a little bit awkward.
No,
I'll have the
yeah.
voucher. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll go back. And favorite cocktail?
I'm not really a cocktail drinker.
Notice how she said she'd let me ask the question.
Yeah, I know
and she
you're
got in.
taking too long.
I'm going to go left of field and just say Scotch and soda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
It's not a
highball? No,
cocktail,
you can
but
call it a highball.
I like a highball.
Can't wait to have one of those on Sunday.
Yep. A few.
Oh, you guys are down the coast. That's right.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got a family trip down the coast on Sunday.
Yeah.
I will be on a boat in Sydney Harbour. Also, probably
Friends.
That will be fun.
Having a few highballs yourself.
Absolutely not.
You don't like Scotch and soda?
No, not when I'm on a boat.
Why not?
Well, couldn't you imagine? Oh, God, can't get my words out. I'm laughing. Couldn't you imagine Paul Carroll with his sea legs? It'd be...
Sea legs. Am I missing something?
No.
Can we move on, please? Can we
What
go-
is sea legs?
go to
Do you get me?
Go to the question box.
Okay, question box is what are Christian's sea legs?
Oh, how long do we have?
Madison struggles to let things go. She
Yeah,
does.
does.
I want to know. I'm nosy.
Oh, we
Okay.
know. We know.
Well, some of these questions that have been asked, I guess, aren't necessarily for Michali, but about first home buyers in general. Our first question is, am I eligible for a stamp duty exemption or a discount if I spend over $1 million on a property?
No.
Are you not?
You heard it here first. No.
Stamp duty waiver.
Not waiver, but are you eligible for a discount? Yes.
No. It cuts out at a mil.
Isn't it 1.5 now?
Yeah.
The government guarantee scheme goes up to 1.5.
Oh.
Not the stamp duty exemptions.
Oh.
Don't go to war with me. I will win.
No, I understand. I just was questioning my own knowledge.
Yeah,
Update in New South Wales.
800,000.
Different state to state. Up to $800,000 is full waiver.
Yeah.
Between 800,000 and $1 million is
I had no
concession.
idea. I
Okay.
thought anything above 800,000, it was just a
Prorated rate.
prorated rate.
it is. But the closer you get to $1 million, the closer you are to paying full stamp duty. It's a sliding scale.
And on $1,001,000,
Full
you pay
stamp
full.
duty. On $1 million, it's full stamp duty.
The more
Just put $1 million on the contract and pay the rest cash.
dollar coin under the table.
Well, no, $1 million is also full stamp duty, so it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
999.
Oh,
$999, you're paying you might have $3 of a discount. So the closer you get to $1 million, the less the discount actually is.
Okay.
On a percentage. Yeah,
So like at 801,000, you might be paying like $500 worth of stamp duty.
Okay.
okay.
And 900,000, you pay half
Wow.
what the full amount would be.
Second question. How do I choose a conveyancer?
I know
Michali?
who asked that.
Yeah, I wondered who it was. Must have been our conveyancer.
I think that question applies to how do I choose a mortgage broker? How do I choose a real estate agent? It
Oh,
applies to
God, he's a
everything.
Will they have a
He's
beer
an
with you at
ultimate
Valley
My
Park?
father-in-law
You
forced
need
me to go
to
with.
read reviews, look around, ask for referrals from friends, and ultimately the best thing is to find someone that you gel with.
Yeah.
So just go with who your family recommends.
Correct.
Thank you.
Look, generally speaking, the strongest way of finding someone is someone that, if you know
Sorry,
someone that you
that
trust,
just
they
caught me
recommend
off guard.
someone.
I was cracking a joke. Look, generally speaking,
Sorry, I know you're joking,
Yeah.
but it's the truth.
Yeah,
Word
whoever
of
mum and dad
mouth
went with.
and a reference from
very
someone
far.
is the strongest sort of
Yeah.
thing. So
I use Convey personally.
You use Convey? Go, Daniel, from Convey.
Yep.
Third question. Should I make an offer before I pay for a building or strata report? I think so.
you can.
You can do it.
It's an offer.
You're not locked
They're
in.
not
until those-
locking you
You're not locked in until those
Correct.
contracts are exchanged.
Exactly.
And even then, you could also
You
exchange
got
it
a
with
cooling off. Worst
But an
case,
offer's offer schmoffer. I say, give it to me and I'll see what I can do.
put it in
Also,
writing.
Put that one on a t-shirt.
Put it in writing.
Offer schmoffer. Really, it means
they're
nothing.
they're worth nothing. So they're not even worth the paper they're written.
No,
Honestly, send me an offer for 200 grand over asking price and you could block my number and everything. It means nothing.
Until you put pen to paper and sign a contract to sale and that contract gets exchanged, it means
So
absolutely
make your offers before building and pest report.
Yeah.
It might set you up in a better position.
Look, do
How
you
much is a
do
report
your
anyway?
due diligence,
Well,
but at the
realistically,
same time,
I'd rather know my
Feel
offer's accepted
comfortable.
before I do the building.
Exactly
because I've got
right.
to pay money for the building.
Save you
invest.
$50.
Yeah,
So
I
if
don't
you're
wanna-
thinking that your offer's maybe going to get accepted and you're not even in the anywhere
Well,
near to what's going to be accepted, you're wasting
You're
money
wasting
getting
time.
those
Yeah.
reports.
from a
done.
building and pest perspective, you've got your cooling off there to negotiate
Correct.
for if there's any issues anyway. So yeah.
Exactly
At the end
right.
of the day, you can always
Make an
your
offer.
have it accepted, exchange the contract so that you lock yourself in, but you get that cooling off period to give you a way out if the building and pest inspection goes wrong.
Good call.
Yeah. Exactly right. There are our questions from our question box that I thought were things that people could learn from.
Mhm.
I'll go on for him then.
Yep.
What's next in the property journey then? In the space of 4 or 5 years, you've bought and sold 3 times. You've
Well,
Had a
with
property
interest
managed?
rates and being quite hostile, I want to pay my mortgage down as much as I can.
I mean, you went from apartment to townhouse to house.
Yeah.
yeah.
What
What's
comes
next?
after house?
Acreage.
No, compound. The
compound.
compound.
Yeah, no, I'm not in on the compound.
I'm trying to convince my family into moving into a compound with
Oh,
me.
I'm getting Mormons.
I'm not in on that
Well,
I'm
one.
getting like
And
No,
Michali and Paris don't want to move into my compound, and I said they weren't invited anyway,
Yeah.
so it's fine.
Look, I'm with
in the
Michali.
politest way possible. I couldn't imagine living.
I've got
with
my
all
parents
those
on board, my in-laws on board. I'm going.
No way your in-laws are on board with that.
They're so keen on the idea. Christmas Day, we drew it out, floor plans, everything. It was.
Oh, in the one house.
No.
Like separate.
Compound,
One
like a little family
massive
estate.
block of land.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking common pool. Let's think about cost effective.
You subdivide it.
You
strata,
subdivide
strata
it.
type.
Everyone has their house. Think about the kids growing up with their cousins. I don't know. I think it's a great idea, and it's cost effective. No daycare.
God forbid you want a bit of privacy, though.
You know, you can't even fart without your family hearing it. Like,
I'm sure you farted.
what'd you
in front of
talk
your
about? Daycare.
Yeah, like just send them over to someone else's house in the compound. They're in a gate. They're in a locked community.
They're in a locked community.
Oh, you want that like that premium? We come from a
gated community.
No, don't associate with those ones, kids. They're not from the gated community.
And then you can get evicted as well. It's a bit of a game show. We're going to do Love Island.
Now it's Big Brother.
The Big
yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
Someone's good at evicting people in your family.
Could you imagine having to go up to your mother-in-law and say you've been evicted from the compound?
You've been
Well, if she's being nasty, she might be.
Well, on that note, I think we better wrap up before we go to another odd and random story. So,
any more questions from Michali? Was that it?
Oh, he's going
That
to cut
was-
me off
that was-
again. Everyone in this show wants to cut me off. I'm going to headbutt someone.
Anyway, so Michali, if you have one piece of advice for any first home buyer,
Mm-hmm.
what would your
My-
number one line be?
Number one line is the hardest thing about the process is speaking to a lender. So just go speak to one.
Call over finance
Lover Finance.
and then call MMJ North.
yes.
Thank you very much, Michali.
Thanks
You've
for
been
having me.
a
Thanks so
very,
much.
very well-spoken guest, I
I'll
will
be
say.
back. Don't worry. Whether
When
I'm
he
working
finds the next thing.
or
He's taken
speaking, I'll
over.
be
He's
back.
taken over. He wants
love
him on
it.
the podcast.
I'll be
man.
back.
He's
Get him
taken
in.
over, man.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Michali.
Alrighty.
On that
Ciao.
note,
Say
Ciao.
ciao.
ciao. Michali, you have to say ciao.
I did.
Oh,
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
ciao.
Everything presented in this podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only, and all advice is to be considered general in nature. It does not take into account your personal circumstances and financial objectives. Please consider if this advice is right for you and look to consult a financial professional.